Hi, Mr. Gazda here. Homework 65. This is a chart. It's on your reference table. It is right here. It's on top of page 14. It's called That. It's about Earth's atmosphere. Let's go through this homework. This can be challenging for people, so I'm gonna go through this. I did have a recommended pre-video to watch. I recommend you do that, though not required. It will help you with this, but before though it's available, we just did this. Draw a red horizontal line at the boundary between the troposphere and the stratosphere. Stratosphere, troposphere. It's called the tropopause. Go just like that. That's the red line. Next up, color the troposphere yellow. The troposphere is all of this. That's the area closest to the Earth. We're in it right now. I'm filming this video in the troposphere. I color this yellow. So it goes all the way across here. The temperature, pressure, concentration of water vapor as well. So that's yellow. Color the section of the atmosphere that has a temperature range that to that green. This is the one generally. Everyone tends to get this one wrong. If you get it wrong, don't worry. It's definitely I've learned it's one of the harder questions. So the key thing is this shows temperature. This line at any given altitude, it tells you what the temperature is. So that is key. So negative 55. Where's it negative 55? Well, it just touches it there, but it's not between negative 55 and 90. So it would be negative 55 here. Here it's less than negative. Here's where it's negative 90. And then here again is where it's negative. So here are negative 50. That's the warmest or highest temperature in this case. So it is everything on this side of it. So, and then the layer of the atmosphere, the section of the atmosphere, it is like this. Okay? It's that and that. Okay, and I'm going to color it green. As I said, this is the one I've learned over the years kids always get wrong. So don't sweat it if you got it wrong, but that is the layer of the atmosphere from whatever that is, 30, 40 miles up to whatever, 55 miles up, something like that. It is that temperature. So that is definitely more challenging for people. So what else do I have going on here? Put a blue dot on the graph where the temperature is negative 90. So here we go, blue dot. Where's negative 90? The only spot is right there. So that's my blue dot for number 4. What is the altitude of the blue dot in kilometers? Well, you got to realize this is miles, that's kilometers. Answer, 80 kilometers. Don't get those scales mixed up. People often do. Put a red triangle at an altitude where the air pressure is 0.75. This also is problematic. So air pressure is listed in atmospheres here. 1 atmosphere is at the surface. So 0.75, you got to realize that right there is 0.75. And then you got to go up to there. That is where it is, right there. And it's probably, if that's 5 miles, maybe that's like a mile or 2 miles up. But we're interested in a red triangle right there. It's a little hard to grasp, a little small, but right there. I hope people see that. Red triangle. In which layer of the atmosphere is the red triangle? It is in the troposphere. Troposphere. Place a green X at all altitudes that are that temperature, negative 55 degrees C. What am I doing? A green X. So it is here, right? Just touch it, it gets that cold, and then it starts warming up in the stratosphere. And there, and there. So there's going to be 3 green X's. Okay. I'm going to say, please find the letter of your last name. The number matches the last name. So, for instance, I'm G, 35, and then go and write that right next to your name right now, 35, and go like that. Please do that now. Okay, next up, draw a black horizontal line, altitude 75 miles. You got to make sure you're looking at miles versus kilometers. We're going to do black, and we're going to do black. I don't really have black right here, so black, 75 kilometers. Here we go. I'm going to use this black marker. Like that. In which layer of the atmosphere is the black line you drew? It's in the thermosphere. Thermosphere. Draw a brown horizontal line at altitude 75 kilometers. So, brown, so 75 kilometers, you got to realize this is 40, 50, 60, 70 is probably right about there. And this is just helping you read the scale. So we're we're in the mesosphere still. We're just a bit below the mesopause. What is the temperature at 75 degrees C? So maybe you do something like this. You go here about, and maybe it's somewhere negative 80, between negative 80 and negative 65, something like that. Depends how you drew it. Negative 80 degrees C, negative 65 degrees C, somewhere in there. Any of the numbers in that range would work for you. 13. Put a red diamond at an altitude with concentration of water vapor is 10. So water vapor is all the way over here, and the concentration 40, 10 is right here. So you have to go up to the graph right there. It's where this graph is key. Not there, that's just a scale. That in the atmosphere, which is probably about 3 miles up. And a red diamond, it is hard to draw with a pencil, but right about there. Okay, now on to the back. So, if you want to check these, I already did these, just to save some time on this video, because the previous video I had was quite long. So, troposphere, and then it has some of the thickness here. That's key thickness. Anything between there works. An altitude, atmospheric pressure is 0.5. The way you do that is atmospheric pressure 0.5 is here. You go up to there, and then you have to follow it over. So it's a bit of a range, but it's a little hard to follow it over sometimes. Let's do 16, okay, because these are some of the things people have issues with. What happens to the temperature as you go higher in the troposphere? So as you go up in the troposphere, as you go up is that way, the temperature starts out at 15 C, it gets colder, colder, colder. At the top of the troposphere, it's negative 55. So as you go up, the temperature goes down. You could say, draw an arrow, it goes down, or you could say decreases or temperature decreases. That works. But that's key, realizing what this line is, that shows you temperature. What is the temperature at the stratopause? Stratopause is right here. You follow it down right there. 0 degrees Celsius is the answer. 0 degrees C. Now, please just do this. Just a little bit of a check. After 17, after stratopause, if you're watching this, draw a $sign right there and circle it. Please do that. All right. 19. What happens to temperature in the thermosphere as altitude increases? So thermosphere is here. As you go up, the temperature gets warmer and warmer and warmer. So the temperature, what's this? 19. I'll say temp increases, or you could say it gets hotter. But that's really what these layers are defined by. When the composition or characteristics of the layer changes, it affects the temperature. Troposphere, as you go up, it gets colder. Stratosphere, because of the existence of ozone, as you go up, it gets warmer, and then colder in mesosphere, and then thermosphere, which is really kind of odd. It's weird up here. It does get hotter as you go up there. So that's what those layers are sort of based on. What is the atmospheric pressure at sea level? So sea level's right here, and you got to go over the pressure. It's right there. It's right there. So that is 1 atm atmosphere. So 1.0 atm. Do they have 1.0? Yeah, they have 1.0. These we did. And then 23. What happens to the atmospheric pressure as altitude increases? Atmospheric pressure. It was this. It doesn't say atmospheric. That's pressure. As you go up that way, it starts at 1. And here's... Oh, I thought it was going to be an announcement. As you go up this way, the pressure gets lower and lower and lower.
Mr. Ames, please dial 4004. Thank you.
4004, Mr. Ames, please call it. So that would be the pressure goes down or decreases. You have less pressure the higher up you go. That's why your ears pop when you go to the top of mountains. And then, in what altitude in miles does the coldest temperature occur in the atmosphere? So the coldest temperature is this right here. Okay? Negative 90 degrees Celsius. And that is, I'm doing what? Oh, in miles. That's key. 50 miles. 50 miles. So I hope that you get this. If you have trouble, watch some of it again, or watch this if you haven't. This is another teacher explaining it. That's very good, because there is a quiz on it, and this can be troubling for challenging for students at times. So hopefully that helped. I'm Mr. Gazda, and I approve of this homework.